The sky darkened like a nightmare made real as Bridge Creek braced for a force beyond comprehension. An EF5 tornado, a monstrous wall of wind and debris, descended with terrifying speed, ripping trees from the ground and hurling cars like toys. Roofs tore from houses, walls crumbled, and streets became rivers of chaos in seconds. The roar was deafening, a sound that shook the very earth beneath trembling feet as fear clutched every heart. Windows shattered in an instant, sending shards slicing through the air, while entire neighborhoods disappeared under the storm's merciless grip. Emergency sirens screamed, but they were drowned by the tornado's relentless fury, a predator hunting everything in its path. Survivors could barely breathe, caught in a maelstrom of terror that seemed to have no end. Bridge Creek was transformed into a wasteland of twisted metal, shattered homes, and the echoes of lives changed forever. The birth of a supercell. By early afternoon, meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Norman, Oklahoma, were monitoring conditions closely. On their radar screens, a powerful supercell thunderstorm began to rotate ominously. Known as mesocyclones, these rotating storm cores are the breeding ground for tornadoes. This particular cell, forming west of Lawton, intensified rapidly. Its growth was fueled by warm, unstable air and incredible wind shear. The changes in wind direction and speed with altitude that allow storms to spin like tops. As the supercell matured, spotters reported wall clouds lowering from the storm base. Wall clouds are often precursors to tornado development, and by the time the storm neared Chickasha, the first funnels began to descend. At 6:23 p.m., the storm produced its first confirmed tornado, a relatively small funnel that touched down briefly in rural Grady County. But this was only the beginning. The storm was strengthening, its rotation tightening, and forecasters knew the conditions were in place for something catastrophic. The monster touches down. At approximately 6:57 p.m., just southwest of Amber, Oklahoma, the storm unleashed a tornado unlike any before. Within minutes, the funnel grew in width, rapidly expanding to nearly a mile across. The violent rotation carved into the earth with unimaginable force. Entire homes were lifted from their foundation. Vehicles were thrown like toys, and massive power poles were snapped like matchsticks. The tornado's roar was described by survivors as louder than a freight train, a constant, unrelenting rumble that shook the ground itself. The tornado then set its sights on the small community of Bridge Creek. Within minutes, the town lay directly in its path. Residents, who had not already taken shelter, scrambled for basements, storm cellars, or the innermost rooms of their homes. For many, there was no time. The tornado bore down with winds that would later be measured at 301 miles per hour, the strongest winds ever recorded on the planet's surface. In its grip, nothing was safe. Houses were obliterated, trees were stripped of bark, and the very soil was scoured from the ground. The record-breaking winds. What made the Bridge Creek tornado infamous was not just its destruction, but the record it set. A mobile Doppler radar unit, operated by scientists tracking the storm, recorded wind speeds of 301 miles per hour within the funnel. This reading remains the highest wind speed ever measured on Earth. To put this into perspective, such winds are capable of hurling cars hundreds of yards, tearing asphalt from highways, and reducing large, well-built homes to splinters. The Fujita scale, developed by Dr. Tetsuya Theodore Fujita, classified tornadoes based on the damage they caused. The Bridge Creek tornado was rated an F5, the highest possible category, reserved for storms with winds exceeding 261 miles per hour. But the winds measured in this tornado far surpassed that threshold, pushing the very limits of the scale. In later years, when the enhanced Fujita scale was introduced, experts debated whether such extreme winds could even be realistically estimated outside of direct measurement. For the people of Bridge Creek, however, the numbers meant little. What mattered was the devastation unfolding before their eyes. Stories of survival. In the heart of Bridge Creek, families faced the ultimate test of survival. Some sought refuge in storm cellars, while others huddled in bathtubs, clutching pillows and blankets in a desperate attempt to shield themselves from flying debris. One family recalled how their entire home lifted into the air, only for them to emerge from the rubble alive. Their bathtub the only thing that remained intact. Another survivor described the eerie silence that followed the tornado's passage, a silence broken only by the cries of neighbors calling out in the dark. For many, the tragedy was personal. Loved ones were lost, homes were destroyed, and livelihoods were shattered. In total, the Bridge Creek Moore tornado claimed 36 lives and injured nearly 600. The storm's damage was estimated at over $1 billion, making it one of the costliest tornadoes in American history. Yet amid the devastation, there were also stories of resilience. Neighbors helped neighbors, pulling survivors from wreckage, providing shelter, and beginning the long process of rebuilding. The storm chasers. Perspective. Among those who witnessed the Bridge Creek tornado were storm chasers, individuals who dedicate their lives to studying severe weather up close. On May 3, 1999, dozens of chasers followed the supercell as it moved across central Oklahoma. For many, the storm was both the most terrifying and the most awe-inspiring they had ever encountered. The sight of the massive wedge tornado, spanning nearly a mile wide and glowing with lightning, left even seasoned veterans in stunned silence. For the scientists operating mobile Doppler radar, the storm provided a rare and invaluable opportunity. Their data confirmed what many had long suspected. Tornadoes are capable of producing winds far stronger than previously believed. This knowledge would influence future research, shaping our understanding of tornado dynamics. But for the chasers on the ground, the scientific achievement came with a heavy weight. They saw firsthand the destruction those winds wrought on the people of Bridge Creek. The path of destruction. After tearing through Bridge Creek, the tornado continued its deadly march northeast toward the city of Moore. Along the way, it grew to an astonishing 1.2 miles in width, leaving behind a path of utter devastation. In some areas, homes were not only leveled, but swept completely away, leaving only bare slabs of concrete. High-tension power lines collapsed, highways were blocked by overturned vehicles, and entire neighborhoods were reduced to rubble. As the tornado roared toward Moore, emergency sirens blared, giving residents precious minutes to seek shelter. Many heeded the warnings, but the scale of the tornado's destruction was overwhelming. By the time the storm lifted northeast of Midwest City, it had traveled more than 38 miles, leaving thousands homeless and entire communities forever scarred. In total, the outbreak of May 3, 1999, produced 74 tornadoes across Oklahoma and Kansas, but the Bridge Creek Moore tornado would remain the most infamous. The emergency response. In the hours following the tornado, first responders rushed to the scene. Police officers, firefighters, and emergency medical teams worked tirelessly to rescue survivors trapped beneath rubble. Search dogs combed through the wreckage, their handlers listening for faint cries beneath collapsed walls. Hospitals across the region were inundated with patients suffering from injuries, ranging from broken bones to severe lacerations caused by flying debris. The Oklahoma National Guard was called in to secure devastated neighborhoods and assist in recovery efforts. Relief organizations, including the Red Cross, established shelters for displaced families. Volunteers from across the state poured into Bridge Creek and Moore, bringing food, clothing, and supplies. The spirit of community was evident in every corner, even as families mourned their losses. The days following May 3rd were a testament to human resilience and compassion in the face of overwhelming tragedy. Rebuilding and recovery. The road to recovery for Bridge Creek was long and arduous. Entire neighborhoods had to be rebuilt from the ground up. Insurance claims and federal assistance helped many families, but others struggled for years to recover financially. Schools, churches, and community centers became focal point for healing, offering spaces where residents could gather and support one another. For children who lived through the storm, the memories would linger for a lifetime. Many grew up with a heightened awareness of severe weather and the importance of preparedness. Parents taught their children where to go when sirens sounded, and schools reinforced tornado drills with new urgency. The tornado left scars, both physical and emotional, but it also forged a stronger sense of community resilience. Scientific legacy. From a scientific perspective, the Bridge Creek tornado was groundbreaking. The data collected from mobile Doppler radar provided unprecedented insights into tornado dynamics. Meteorologists gained a clearer understanding of wind speeds, storm structure, and the destructive potential of violent tornadoes. This knowledge has since been used to improve forecasting models, enhance warning systems, and design stronger building codes for tornado-prone regions. The storm also highlighted the limitations of the Fujita scale, which relied heavily on damage assessments rather than direct measurements. The introduction of the enhanced Fujita scale in 2007 reflected the lessons learned from Bridge Creek and other violent tornadoes. Today, the Bridge Creek tornado remains a benchmark in meteorological research, its record-breaking winds serving as both a warning and a reminder of nature's power. Comparing to other historic tornadoes, while the Bridge Creek tornado holds the record for strongest winds, it is part of a larger history of devastating storms. The tri-state tornado of 1925 remains the deadliest in U.S. history, killing nearly 700 people across Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. The Joplin tornado of 2011 killed 158, making it the single deadliest tornado of the modern era. And the El Reno tornado of 2013, though not as powerful as Bridge Creek, was the widest ever recorded, stretching 2.6 miles across. Each of these storms serves as a reminder that tornadoes vary in size, strength, and impact. The Bridge Creek tornado stands out not for its death toll, but for the sheer ferocity of its winds. Its scientific significance ensures it will never be forgotten, standing as a reminder of the extremes the atmosphere is capable of producing. Lessons for the future. The lessons of May 3rd, 1999, continue to influence how communities prepare for tornadoes. Meteorologists emphasize the importance of heeding warnings and taking shelter immediately when sirens sound. Families are encouraged to have storm plans, keep emergency kits ready, and identify safe rooms in their homes. Building codes in tornado-prone regions have also evolved, with stronger construction standards designed to withstand high winds. Perhaps the most important lesson is one of humility. The Bridge Creek tornado showed that despite technological advances and scientific knowledge, nature remains beyond our control. Preparedness and respect for severe weather are the keys to survival. For the people of Oklahoma, the storm was both a tragedy and a teacher, leaving behind wisdom that may save lives in the future. Could it happen again? Meteorologists agree that while tornadoes as strong as Bridge Creek are rare, they are not impossible. The atmosphere has the capacity to produce such storms under the right conditions. Climate change may also play a role, though its exact influence on tornado frequency and intensity remains an area of active research. What is certain is that vigilance must remain high. Communities across Tornado Alley know that it is not a matter of if, but when another violent tornado will strike. By studying storms like Bridge Creek, scientists hope to improve forecasting and extend warning times. Advances in radar technology, satellite monitoring, and computer modeling continue to push the boundaries of prediction. Each storm adds to the collective knowledge, bringing humanity one step closer to understanding the full range of tornado behavior. The Bridge Creek tornado of May 3rd 1999 remains etched in history as the most powerful tornado ever recorded. With winds reaching 301 miles per hour, it pushed the limits of science and shattered the lives of thousands. Yet from its devastation came resilience, compassion, and lessons that continue to shape how we prepare for severe weather today. If you found this documentary powerful and informative, we invite you to support the channel. Subscribe to stay updated on more in-depth explorations of the world's most extreme natural disasters. Like this video, share it with friends, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that could one day save lives.